I will start by recalling the main task of the EDPB, which is to ensure the consistent application of the data protection rules throughout Europe and to assist data protection authorities in their cooperation, which of course includes helping them in streamlining their internal processes and combining expertise. Indeed, EDPB was one of the contributors to the Commission's report. The contribution is very long, very detailed, but also because it includes the individual national contributions, not only the consolidated part, so to say. And it provides a lot of explanations and statistics illustrating and demonstrating the experience of the DPAs with the application of the GDPR over the last 6 years. But the main conclusion that the board reached during this evaluation exercise is that the application has been successful. It has contributed to strengthening and promoting common data protection culture across Europe, which is of course very important. One of the priorities of the board is to ensure consistent enforcement practices among DPAs, and usually this is done by means of guidelines, best practices, recommendations. However, in 2022, DDPB members felt that they could go even further than this, be more creative in a way, and adopted a statement on enforcement cooperation, which identified different ways to diversify this cooperation. And ever since, DDPB has taken several important initiatives that have been also mentioned in the contribution. For example, several coordinated enforcement actions have been launched on different predefined topics and agreed methodology. Also, DDPB created the so-called support pool of experts and completed a number of compliance and enforcement related projects. It also increased the use of consistency opinions in order to provide clarity on some matters of general application, started working on cases of strategic importance, and so on. But yeah, all this to say that the board is trying to really diversify the means of cooperation, but of course there are several important challenges that lie ahead. Some of them, not surprisingly, are related to the emerging new technologies, to the constantly evolving technological landscape, and the new legal acts that have been introduced in the context of the new EU rulebook that have been mentioned earlier today. In the context of those new legal acts, data protection authorities and the board will have new enforcement and supervision responsibilities, which will, of course, come on top of the already existing ones. So it will be very important to ensure clarity and homogeneity in order to avoid fragmentation and avoid legal uncertainty for all stakeholders. In addition, it will be important to make sure that DPAs have the necessary technical, human, financial resources to carry out their tasks, which is a big challenge, unfortunately. Also, we need to keep in mind the constantly rising number of complaints that DPAs receive, and the fact that the board itself could expect more legal challenges in the future, which again emphasizes on the need for maximum work efficiency and sufficient resources. And finally, of course, there has been some important challenges that relate to the existence of divergent national practices and rules, in particular in the field of administrative procedural law, and which cannot be overcome without a legislative intervention, which is why we very much appreciate the proposal by the Commission, which we believe play a key role into tackling those issues.